AI is the new lightning rod for fear and for divisiveness that ultimately breeds compliance and control, which is where these politicians are trying to drive the populace and the voting conditions in the United States. And that's what's going on right now. There's a lot of fear about, putting this data center in my town is going to do X or Y or Z with no real conversation about the truth of that matter. There's a lot of fear about wealth creation being aggregated in the hand of a few, when, as we saw with the internet, it benefited the many. And that fear mongering is a very similar tactic that we've seen in the prior generations, where policies were misstated, fear was used, and then voting control allowed folks to come to power that were looking for power. So I think it's just the lightning rod at the moment.
Okay, Chamath, what's your take on this big picture of what's going on here?
I think it's important to understand that politicians have an incredible sense of self-preservation. So the question is, why would Bernie Sanders think he would not look totally foolish in putting that video out? And the reason it went viral is not because it sounded so crazy. It was that to some faction and percentage of people, it sounded rational and reasonable. And the problem that highlights is that we have a huge perception issue in AI. We have a handful of companies. All the PR that you see from those handful of companies is a bunch of circular deal making, a bunch of capital that flows from one to the other. It causes these stocks to go up, of which a small percentage of people benefit. And at the tail end of it, it's accompanied by a completely different set of articles that everybody also reads about this sort of Damocles that's about to fall on their head, whether it's electricity prices, or whether it's their jobs, or whether it's the jobs of their children, or the quality of their education. So we have a big perception problem. So the question at hand is, how do we fix it? How do we get back to the place where a video talking about stopping all progress would seem as laughable as it should be? And I think you can go back to the Gilded Age and you can ask the question, how did the industrialist leaders of that era respond through that 1880 to 1920 age of industrialization, when you had all of this technological upheaval accompanied by a handful of people with incredible success, right? Andrew Carnegie, John D. Rockefeller, Henry Ford. What did they do? And I think the lesson we can borrow from them is we now need to be on the forward foot as an industry. Enough of the stupid haircuts, dumb watches, ugly clothes, ostentatious displays of wealth. We've all done it. I've been guilty of it. It has to stop. Absolutely stop.